Thanks for clicking on this video and watching it. Right now you are probably feeling overwhelmed. You're probably feeling like you can't go any further. I want you to watch this video first. It's going to take a little bit of time to go through, but I want to help you. When you feel like there's no one around, there is always someone around. So thank you so much, firstly, for taking the time to watch this video. Before we start, I'd like to take you through a small breathing exercise. It takes literally no time to do this. I've been in your position and I've been able to get myself out of it and build a pretty good business out of helping others, and that's what I want you to do. I want you to be able to get well so that you can pass on what you've learned to others, which is what I'm going to do right now with you. So you're going to sit back in your chair. Now you'll do this with your eyes closed, and the reason for that is that we want to remove all stimulation from our brain, because right now your brain will be just giving you overwhelming thoughts. Take some time to do this. Sit back in your chair. You will do it with your eyes closed, and all breathing is in and out through your nose. And you will hear me say, close your eyes, start to breathe out, and in 3, 2, 1, in. When I say in, you breathe in very slowly through your nose and keep breathing in until I say out, and you keep breathing out very slowly until I say in. Just relax into it, and the slower you go with this, the better off you'll be. Now halfway through, I'm going to give you full control of your brain, and I'm going to say to you, keep breathing to that timing. I'm not going to tell you the timing, and I don't want you to count. Just keep breathing in and out with your eyes closed. I will still be here and we'll talk about what happened. And then I'm going to take you through another process. I want you to have a clear head for when I talk with you. So here we go. I want you to sit back in your chair. Close your eyes, start to breathe out, and in 3, 2, 1, in. Out. In. Slow it down. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Keep breathing to that timing. There you are. How's that? Your thoughts probably never stopped, but hopefully that's given you some clarity so we can continue talking. I recall once somebody gave me a phone call when I was heading to a presentation, and they were feeling overwhelmed, and he said to me, I've got a voice inside my head and it's telling me to kill myself, and I don't want to. And at that moment I teared up because I'd been there. And I said, mate, I just didn't know. So I normally do crisis intervention. My speciality was that with the police. I taught it for New Zealand Police, studied it in the FBI Academy. I've been doing a lot of work around suicide intervention and prevention and postvention. I've written a book on it, in fact, called Dark Side of the Brain. We'll get to that later on. And when I finished the breathing technique with this, and I was standing on the side of the road doing it on my phone, I said, how was that? And he said, nothing. There was nothing. And I said, how was that? Are you there? And he said, yeah, I'm waiting for the voice to come back, and it hasn't. I hope that was the same for you. Slowing it down a bit. So now you'll be hopefully in a better place to be able to continue watching this video. Our brain is wired for fight, flight, and freeze. When we go through some really tough times like you've been through, eventually we get tired. And a thought, it's called an ideation, a suicidal ideation, that's the technical term. A thought comes into your mind. Here's a way out. Here's a way to stop the pain. Here's a way to stop others feeling hurt. Here's a way. Don't listen to it. It's the brain's automatic finding a way to help us. I had one. I'm standing on the 4th floor at work, feeling absolutely overwhelmed, looked out the window, and a thought come to my head, you need to go higher. And because I'd become a crisis negotiator, I was very lucky. I realised what was happening to me. And I took that brave step to go and get some help. In fact, I went to a padre. We have a padre. I was in the police who used to come into the building. The first person I thought of, I went there. We prayed, did some very cool stuff. I wrote things on a piece of paper and burnt it and just did some very cool things to help me start to gain control. And then he says, you're going to have to get some serious help. Let me give you some names and details. And I've never looked back. And I've never forgotten that person, the first person I reached out to. Hopefully you'll remember to come back and watch this video again and maybe go to our website and get some more details. And to come back to me and tell me how you've worked your way through and you've taken control. So know that the brain has some automatic functions, and it is simply, you know, tragically I've been to funerals of people who've taken their own life, and I always say it's not them. It's not you. It's not who you are. It's just the brain finding a solution for you. You've been catastrophizing, it's termed. Lots of things going on. Your thoughts have taken over. You have control of your thoughts, as you would have just seen from that breathing technique. Right? So you have got the strength to do this. The chances are that when you become overwhelmed, you start eating junk food, you start self-medicating, you start doing a whole lot of unusual behaviour. So there's 3 stages I talk about. It might not be the same for you, but we do tend to go through stages. The first one is we get busy to try and put the thoughts to one side. Keep the brain going. You'll be all right. Put it back there. It'll be okay. Just keep bearing it. You'll get through this. You'll get through this. Forget all what's happened, but the brain keeps coming back. So that's the washing machine. And the first thing to disappear when something's on our mind is sleep. Sleep's critical to you. And we're going to show you how to get a better night's sleep. It keeps coming back to you. There's these horrible, horrible thoughts, and they become overwhelming. So that's the washing machine. And eventually we withdraw from people. We have a self-protection. It's because of fear. Fear of what people will say. Fear of the unknown. Fear of loss. We fear one major thing, and that's loss. So we start to withdraw, and I call that, the first stage is called the washing machine. Like the brain is just churning stuff over. Then we go into the movie stage, where everything seems two-dimensional. It's like you're walking through a movie. Was that for you? You're just going through the motions, and all you want is that one person to reach out and grab you and say, let's get you some help. We're going to do that together now. Because if you don't, you'll end up what I call the drowning stage. when you're breathing very short. I liken it to, being in the sea and a wave hits you and you sort of choke a little bit and you're under the water and you just come up for a deep breath, and then that next wave right behind it hits you again and you're struggling for breath. So I call it the drowning. It's because we're short breathing. By doing that breathing technique, I've shown you that if you lengthen your breathing, which slows it down, the brain slows down. So those are the 3 stages. Essentially, we're stuck in our own heads, aren't we? That's where you are right now. And we have this natural protection mechanism of don't talk, don't reach out. You've got this. That's what it was like for me. Maybe different for you. And I'd like to hear your story. And we'll show you how to get hold of me later on. Send it through. I'd love to hear from you. But we start believing our own voice. It's not you. It's not your voice. It's an auto problem solving tool we have as a natural part of our brain. Have you noticed some changes in your behaviour when things first started? You try to break patterns. I started doing things that I didn't like doing. Listening to radio stations I hated. Started doing the opposite of what I used to do to try and break out of where I was. And in effect, what that's doing is making it worse. The best thing we can do is go back to the known, go back to the basics, because trying to change things is just dumping more stuff on our brain. Me, I didn't care about how I looked, I didn't care about my hygiene, fitness went out the window, I was eating junk food, self-medicating, drinking, taking pills, doing all sorts of weird, just to get through the day, minute by minute, second by second. Yeah, it's a horrible place, isn't it? And while I'm talking with you, so mine was in 1999 when I was at my desperate stage. It's now 2023. I can't remember, although I'm getting a little emotional now, I can't remember the exact feeling, because I've managed to work my way back as you are, and you're going to come back stronger and better. I promise you. Do you notice how you're withdrawing from people, not talking anymore, not reaching out to others, becoming a little isolated? Of course you are. That's what we do. We avoid people in case of what judgment. We sleep during the daytime. Why do we sleep during the day? Because there's lots of noise around us. We stay up late on the TV, on the internet. Night times are the worst. A little tip for you. At night time, get a TV. If you've got the opportunity, have it on live TV and have that going somewhere in your room when you're sleeping. The noise, feeling the comfort, knowing that somebody else is awake. That's what I did. I used to walk out in the street and look up and down the road, and if there was a light on, somebody else must be awake. Probably wasn't. Probably it was a security light, but it doesn't matter. I just felt like there was someone there. But the big thing is we have to go for help, and we have to go for expert help. And again, that's another hurdle, isn't it? Fear of judgment. Now, let me tell you this. We need to start changing the narrative. You're not mad. You're not mental. You're not crazy. You've just been overwhelmed with stuff. The term mental health, we'll put you into the mental health system, Lance. The word mental means of the mind. How about this? We'll put you in the mind health system, Lance, which is what we're going to do for you. Think of it as extreme fight or flight, so we have to take. It's a little bit harder to get through this. Other people say that it's okay not to be okay. I'm not a fan of that. I say it's okay to say I'm not okay. You hear the difference? And you're not okay. That's not okay with me, but it's okay that you've reached out and clicked on this video. And this is the start of your journey. It starts here right now. We have these fears that keep us back. Fear of what people say, fear of, the unknown, of being judged, of letting people down, of hurting others. Sometimes we feel, staying around is hurting others. It's not. Reaching out is brave and more importantly, it's empowering. You know, I had a fear of talking about things because I felt like I could not turn off the tap once I started talking. It is the opposite. I'm getting chills now, remembering the first time I disclosed what was going on inside my head. It felt so empowering. I have control to tell somebody what's happening. Seriously, you can switch off the tap. Once you've got it out, what it is the emotion coming out. It's the emotion that holds the memories. So if we can talk about how we feel, you know, I think of it as, I ask people in my workshops, how many of you have been for physio? And you know, the whole room, yeah. Oh, so you've all had therapy? Well, no. Why is it? It's physiotherapy. Oh. What do? They push on the part that hurts. Why? Because they don't like you? No. Because they want to get the energy out, to get things moving, to get the blood flowing. What do these people do? They push on the part that hurts to get the emotion out. We're going for brain physio. I just want you to take that first step. It feels like an enormous step. Trust me, it's not, because as soon as you take that step, bang, you're in. So I want you to reach out. Who do you reach out to? You got a doctor, a GP. There's community practitioners that are out there. Hospital, you can go there. Lifeline is a global organisation. There'll be some in your area. Just Google it and reach out to them. Some of them are done online. Some of them are done with text messages, anonymously if you wish to start that way. And do you know what? Reaching out to a stranger is easier than reaching out to somebody you know. I'm a stranger. You're watching this video. Have we got a connection yet? I hope so. And that's what it's like. It's the person you connect with who understands. And that's the start of your journey. And you'll suddenly realise how easy. There's lots of people out there wanting to help. You know, you can reach out to me. You won't get me on the phone. Unfortunately, I'm just so busy. But there's lots of information. If you go to our website, there'll be a tag at the end of this, a link on this video for you to get that. And there'll be a link on this video for you to get our sleep tips document that you can go and have a look at. It's comprehensive. It's been validated by sleep clinics. Doctors are giving it out. It's really different. It's got some crazy techniques of how to control your brain in there, because sleep's the number one thing you can do for yourself. But reaching out is the biggest thing you can do. We can't do this alone. None of us can, initially. But once we start, we can go it alone. And so I'm going to help you help yourself, because you're the only one that can help yourself. You have control. Now I want you to start with the basics, and here are the basics. There's 6 of them. Once you've watched this video, might be the middle of the night, tomorrow you'll have to start the first part of it. Talk, read, write. In fact, you can do the reading. You can go on the link to our website and start reading, start watching some of the videos we've got that you might find helpful. We can start writing a list of people we're going to see. The biggest thing we can do is talk. When you talk with people, 4 things happen. Number 1, it's out of your head, and this is the key to the brain. When you get it out of your head, it stops you from overthinking. Just writing stuff down, writing your thoughts down, your emotions, how you feel about things, gets it out of your head. That's the start. But talking with a real person so you can see their micro expressions, so you can engage with them, to get it out of your head. Number 2, when you are talking with people, the emotion will come out. You will cry. You will get angry. You will feel a whole lot of different things, and know that that is a good thing. We shy away from that. Run to the fire. Get those emotions out, because it's the emotion that holds the memories. Every piece of information that comes into our head is tagged with an emotion. And if it's the amygdala sparks up, it's held there. And we have a lot of them. And all you've been doing for the last day, 2 days, week, month, is referencing those. 90% of our memory, 80% of our memory is around negative things. That's what's been happening as your brain tries to fix it, and it gives us that overwhelming. So the order I recommend people do it is talk, read, write. But because you're probably watching this in the middle of the night, I want you to write a plan. Who can you go and see? And have a list. Read some information, go to a website, have a look at some of the other videos there if you want to do that. We've got one called Looking After Loved Ones, for people who look after others who might be like yourself and struggling. And then talk to start your journey. It is seemingly the biggest step you will ever make, but it's not. It's the step you will never ever forget. And it's the start of your journey. The next 3 things I want you to focus on is food, shelter, sleep. Change your diet. Start eating healthy foods. If you can search foods high in serotonin, that will lift your mood. That's the nuts, the green leafy vegetables, it's the eggs, it's the walnuts are great to put you to sleep. It's also salmon, seafoods, the omega-3s, because they're also high in magnesium, which will help you sleep. So concentrate on the food. Shelter, make sure you've got a place that you feel is yours, where you feel safe and secure. If you don't feel safe and secure there, you either do something about it or you move. If you want to do something about it, you just clean it, fix it, do whatever works for you, the smallest possible thing each day to keep moving forward. Fixing one thing, you'll start to feel safe and secure there, and sleep will come. Go and click on that sleep tips document, get it for you, it's yours. Talk, read, write, food, shelter, sleep. That's the basics, and that's it. You know, just getting out of bed sometimes can be a struggle. That's an achievement. Going to check the mailbox, that's an achievement. Getting a can of cold food, putting on a plate and eating it, that's a massive achievement. Right? Who are my heroes? People like you, people who are watching this. Because you're going to get through this and you're going to come out better and stronger. I promise you that. As you work through these things that I'm talking about now, getting some help, talking with people, writing down lists, doing some work in yourself and believing in yourself. Make sure you're believing in what you're doing. Changing your diet, fixing up where you live, getting a good night's sleep. Sleep is critical. If you don't sleep, the self-deprecation comes, because as we sleep, we are processing our long-term memory and throwing out the rubbish. The rubbish builds up. That's why it's critical. Get those sorted out. You watch the changes in you. We've got this. You've got this. Always remember that. All you need to do is take the first step. Others are there to help you, and then you're going to be able to take control. There's one thing I learned, not at the time, but looking back. We are all better and stronger than we think we are. I'm the weakest person you'll ever find. I've done some cool things in my life. You'll no doubt go and do a bit of a search on me later. Done some very cool stuff. After I had depression. After I was suicidal. Absolutely. Those of us who go through things like you are right now, going through challenges in our life, have a duty to tell people about it. Always be as patient with yourself as you are with those around you. We're wired to look after others and not ourselves. Take some time for yourself. Be patient with yourself as you are with those around you. And number 2, hold on to what you love. Your hook. Because that will get you through. Every single time. Go with your heart and not your head. This thing is out of control. So you connect it by what you love. And that will bring back control. I hope that watching this video has inspired you. Because you can do this. I built a business on doing what I'm doing now. And I want you to know that the world's there for you. All right? Don't listen to this dumb brain. I hope it's helpful. Let's finish up with that breathing technique again. And then you're going to go to the website and you're going to get yourself some help. So here we go. Sitting back, you know how it works by now. Close your eyes, Start to breathe out, and in 3, 2, 1, in. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Keep breathing to that timing. There you go. Another 2 minutes. I'm so grateful for you watching. I hope you found this helpful. Lots of love to you. Know that there's people out there who do care. I care. Start getting yourself well. Connect with me if you need to. Connect with anyone who you need to. But always remember, take that first step. The rest is just so much easier to get help. Take that step towards professional help and your world will change. I promise you. Thanks so much for watching.